I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight as we call the meeting to order for this regular council meeting and public hearing for Town of Archer Lodge on this Monday, June 1st, 2026, in these Jeffrey D. Barnes council chambers. At this time, if I'd ask Councilman Jackson if he would please give her invocation.
Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all the blessings that you've given us as a people, as a town. We do ask that you look over us and guide us as we go about deliberating the town's business, and to help us to remember whose we are. It is June, and it's first full month of summer. We've got a bunch of kids that are out and about, and just help us to be mindful of them and help keep them engaged in things when we can. We do ask for a protective hand around our town. We ask for protection for our service members here and abroad, and especially those in the Middle East. Tensions are still flaring. And we ask for peace and grace in all the things that we do. In your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item number 2, approval of the agenda. Council, we need to add a closed session regarding personnel matters after the council members' remarks. That will be just prior to adjournment. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as shown and amended with the closed session?
So moved.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and second. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Unanimous vote. Item 3, public comment. Thank you. First off, we have Mr. Ronnie.
I made notes tonight because I ramble sometimes when I get up here and talk to y'all. Mayor and council, just wanted to come, I meant to come last month to come say thank you for getting the ball lights fixed over at the community center. I was, as David told you, severely under the weather, couldn't get out of the house, so obviously a lot better tonight than last time, but truly appreciate getting the lights fixed so quickly. It helped us use that park to its full potential this year, to the point where David came out. We had our baseball and softball championships out there this year inside of our league, so a bunch of really good games out there. It was fun to see that park back alive and being used to its, like I said, to its full potential. Just a couple of, I know they get into your events coming up that Ben sends out every week. He's graciously included me in that now too, so I see kind of what's getting put out. But our districts are coming up June 19th to the 21st. I do have a solid schedule for our girls when they play. So if you're more interested in coming and watch our girls instead of other ones, Friday night, our 10U and our 12U girls will start their tournament Friday night. 10U will be at 7 o'clock, 12U will be at 6 o'clock. They're on separate fields. And then 8U will start Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. They'll play 2 games on Saturday, and then all of the championships will be on Sunday at 10, 12:30, and 3. So that's kind of how that schedule will work out. I urge you to come watch our 12U girls. They are extremely special. They have a very, very good chance to go a long way, to the point we may see a lot of them on ESPN this year. Very, very talented group of girls. I'd be blown away if they're not playing in July at home. In fact, I talked to their coach today. He said, if we're not playing in July, then I'm going to move back to Wisconsin because everybody's going to run me out of town if that doesn't happen. So they're very good, very good. I help coach our 12U boys, and I would venture to say they might would beat the 12U boys. So real reason I kind of came by to talk was about the town park and our hosting expectations and kind of what we're, I don't want to say lacking to a point, but what we are lacking is the batting cages. And I know they're in the budget for next year. I know they were pushed into the budget for next year. I saw that. But these discussions on these kind of started back last year. And I've asked about updates for them here and there through Parks and Rec over the year, and it's kind of got, I don't want to say kicked down the road, but it's got kicked down the road a long way. And here we are, a couple weeks out from hosting, and we've got to come up with a temporary solution to have batting cages for a tournament we're hosting. It's kind of the expectation, anywhere they go, they have these to be able to help girls warm up. So I know I'm realistic. It's not going to happen by June. That's a very realistic expectation of mine. I really hope that it can be something that the town can help us get done by the July tournament. And that's the turn of the fiscal year. I know it's a quick turnaround. I do know it's possible, but it's going to take a little legwork ahead of time. So, I know the quotes are there, whether they're still accessible or not. The quotes are there to be able to get them built. And from what I had heard about them, they're reasonable quotes. They're nothing over the top extravagant. So this is important though for us, and just background on our program and where we stand. We're fully invested in the town and invested in y'all, and we consider ourselves a town program. We are a town program. We are the second largest program in Johnston County, and that puts us as the largest municipal program in Johnston County because we're only second in Greater Cleveland, which is their own private organization. So you have the largest municipal baseball and softball program in the county. Now, our population is, vast majority of non-Archer Lodge residents. I realize that, and that can cause some heartache sometimes, but having a large program comes with that. We're able to take in anybody from Johnston County, and I think what this has done is shrunk some of these smaller programs around the county and brought some of the girls into us. I spoke about the 12U program. There's girls from literally every corner of this county playing on that team, but the majority, 9 out of 13 of them are from 10 minutes from here. So they may not live inside the city limits, but they are extremely close to Archer Lodge. And on top of that, another statistic that you may not kind of be aware of, but when it comes to Parks and Rec programs and cost recovery with them, and Ms. Kim may know more about this, Dave may know more about this, but we're up around an 80% cost recovery, 70-80% cost recovery. And that's pretty unheard of for Parks and Rec offered programs. Normally well below 50% to the 35 to the 40% range. So, while we can cost a lot of money and there's a lot of money invested in, we bring, almost all of it back in to where the town's close to breaking even on their costs to run the program. We have a very small, modest budget ourselves as a nonprofit. we might bring in $10,000 in sponsorships. These tournaments are gonna cost Johnston County Little League, not the town, about $9,500 of that we're putting into it, not to mention the stuff we've gotten donated to help upfit what we need to upfit. So we're not going into this, not investing our own money and asking y'all to spend $40,000 on batting cages. We're investing pretty much our full budget this year that we have into this to try to make it what we want and make Archer Lodge shine, make Johnston County Little League shine, make them want to keep coming back here for years to come. So, again, I don't want to come in here and sound like I'm begging and complaining, because y'all have done more for us in the past year than I could ever imagine. Just getting lights fixed was a huge bonus for our league. We have our 8-year-old boys are going to practice until 8:30 tonight because they're able to. So that's massive for them. So again, thank you for a little bit of time. I don't mean to talk and run. I normally don't talk and run, but our 12U team is waiting for me to practice, so I got to get over to the school to help them practice and get ready for their tournament in a couple weeks. So if you need me, if you have questions, you have my email. Most of you, if you don't have my phone number, David's got my phone number. I'm happy to have him share it with you, so reach out if you need to. But thank you. Hopefully we'll see you out at districts, at least to watch our girls play. So thank you.
Thank you. And Miss Abrilla, did I pronounce it right? Okay.
Yes, you did. Hi, my name is Abrilla Robinson, and I am the community organizer for North Carolina Black Alliance and for Advance Alliance. And basically, I brought you some information today. I don't know if you guys know about the Energy Fund that has been provided by the United States government. It's over $200 million. It was allocated in 2012, and it's to help residents with appliances or anything that's necessary for their house. They have an energy auditor that comes out, looks at their particular property to see if there's any kind of weatherization in order to reduce bills. I don't know about you folks, but in January I got the highest gas bill I ever had in my entire life living here in North Carolina. So a lot of the appliances are older and they can be replaced with this new energy funding program. I brought you an application, okay? You can apply online, by mail, phone, or through email. And you can also call and have people actually help you. This program, the income limit for a single person is $70,000. So it could help a lot of people. So I wanted to make sure that I shared that information with everybody in this community, because Archer's Lodge is also part of my community. So I got the information here. Who should I give it to? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. That was all that we had on the sign-up list for that particular public comment. Item number 4, consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Okay, motion passes, unanimous vote. All right, item number 5, presentation, review of the recommended budget. Mr. David.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor and Council, as you were aware, I presented the recommended budget at the work session in May. And just for a quick review tonight, for the benefit of the people in the crowd as well as those online, just wanted to give you a quick review of the recommended budget for next year. The recommended budget totals $3,946,600. The budget is balanced with the reduction of the property tax rate of 1.5 cents, taking the rate from 30 cents per $100 valuation to 28.5. And of that, as you're aware, 11.5 is the fire tax. This is the budget development calendar that we've had. I'm not going to go into detail, but you've got that for your review. So some of the areas of emphasis for this budget, as you're well aware, we had several budget work sessions. And, also I had one-on-ones with each of you and other members of staff and the public as well. And so the areas of interest with the recommended budget include council's goal of reducing spending and reducing the tax rate. As mentioned, the budget is based on a tax rate reduction of 1.5 cents. And this is also consistent with the feedback that we received through the public from the budget survey. The budget also includes completion of some of the Phase 2 and 3 elements that were planned for the town park, for which funding is not fully available. And the third area of emphasis is the strategic planning for the town for the future. Next slide. So the Phase 2 and Phase 3 elements that are included in the budget are $40,000 for the batting cages, $10,000 for the bullpen area, $15,000 for completion of the disc golf course, and $15,000 for gravel at the park maintenance equipment yard. Go back, Ben, to the other slide. So just the batting cages, as I mentioned last month, there are multiple batting cages, multiple bullpens, so to adequately cover the needs of both fields at the park. All right, next slide. So some of the planning initiatives that are included in the budget include $10,000 of a strategic plan. This was something that has been discussed by council, and council has identified as a priority. Also, $10,000 for a potential project involving the proposed village center, as suggested in the comprehensive land use plan update. $2,000 for expenses related to 2 graduate student projects in partnership with the UNC Chapel Hill City and Regional Planning Program. So these are, again, 2 projects that have been, one that has been identified in the comprehensive land use plan update, a comprehensive transportation plan, and then a complementary project would be a street inventory and mapping project. If we went privately for both of these projects, it would be well into the 6 figures amount, but we certainly want to take advantage of other opportunities to help the town move forward in a cost-effective way. And so we've developed this relationship with UNC Chapel Hill. And so for minimal investment, we're able to utilize some graduate students to help develop this tool for us. And then up to $35,000 in general planning consulting services for several things, some of which involve just a follow-up to the comprehensive land use plan, including updating the Unified Development Ordinance based on the new statutes, updating the UDO based on the comprehensive land use plan updates, funding to move forward with the development of an extraterritorial jurisdiction, or ETJ, if council accepts the planning board recommendation to do so, and then additional planning services on an on-call basis. Next slide. So this is a streamlined budget. There are no new positions, programs, or services planned. This budget is for the continuation of current programs, current services, and the cost to maintain them. The ad valorem tax revenue represents approximately 60% of the town of Archer Lodge's revenues. And you see in this chart the historical property tax rate for Archer Lodge. It was as high as 32 cents per $100 evaluation in 24-25. And with the proposed recommended budget, it would be 28.5. And it would be broken down into 16 cents for town general services, 11.5 cents for the fire district tax, and then 1 cent for the park reserve fund. Next slide. So 1 cent on the property tax rate equates to approximately $70,000. The ad valorem property taxes equate to about 59% of revenue. The state sales tax distributions equate to about 14.6% of revenues. And then the franchise sales tax is about 6.29% of revenue. So for a home valued at $325,000, the town property tax bill would be approximately $926, a reduction of approximately $50 from the current year. One of the great things that we've highlighted is the fact that Archer Lodge is blessed to have very little debt load, and it's going to be even less after the upcoming budget year. We'll be paying off 2 of the 3 loans in the upcoming budget year. The budget for the original construction of Town Hall, and then the purchase of the park property. Those 2 will be paid off in the upcoming fiscal year. And so the only remaining debt would be for the Town Hall expansion. So the balance before payment for that is $216,000. So again, there are a lot of towns that have been around a lot longer than Archer Lodge that would love to have that amount in debt service. And so the town has been very blessed, has made some great decisions in the past, and we're certainly, appreciative of the council, prior councils, prior administrations for their due diligence in this regard. Next slide. So council's asked to receive this review of the recommended budget, hold a public hearing tonight, and then provide direction to staff regarding additional budget work sessions that are desired, and to establish a date for the adoption of the budget before July 1st. So statutorily, we need to adopt that by June 30th, but certainly, to work with the county and getting the tax bills out, ideally, we would need to get that done before then. We got, I know, an email on this, and was that June 19th is what they're asking us to ideally have that approval done by then. So, I know that's not always the case that we can work in the ideal world, but, that's certainly something that I urge you to strive for. Any questions on the recommended budget? Thank you much.
All right, thank you. Item number 6, public hearing. Have that sheet with you. Okay.
There's 2 on the first and then 1 on the second.
Okay, thank you for pointing that out. Council, do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
I have the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Have a motion second. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay, we are now open in public session. First speaker, Mr. John Bozzelli.
What I wanted to talk about is the 1.5 cents proposed reduction. Now, I was on the council, as you all know, last year when we voted for that budget. That budget, if you recall, the net neutral was 19 cents. Now, we increased our rate by 0.5 cent last year. Our rate actually went up. So also, we ended up netting out an additional $130-some thousand that wasn't part of our budget. And the word was, how do we spend it? What are we going to spend it on? $130-some thousand equates to about 1.5 cents. So this 1.5 cents being proposed doesn't cut anything. You need to cut your expenses, cut your spending. There's a lot of fat and a lot of bloat, and you all know what it is. So you got to reduce that. 1.5 cents doesn't come close to putting this budget where it needs to be. There's a lot of fat there. In fact, 1.5 cents is the amount of money that you were wondering last year, how are we going to spend this? That kills me. Give it back to the people when it's an overage. And furthermore, you got to cut what your spending is. That's all I got.
Thank you. Ms. Sonia Woke.
Good evening, Mayor, Councilman, staff. I appreciate everything that you do and you have done. And Mr. Mayor, I so appreciate the YouTube. Mr. Davis, I like your direct, no-nonsense approach. Directly said, reduce the budget. I like that. Ms. Eccles, I love your smile. Ms. Bruton is not here. I just like her diligent, in-depth, detailed questioning of all the agendas. Mr. Castleberry, I like your dedication to the growth of Johnston County, all the time and energy that you put into it. And I like the new website. I know the staff is working on that. And Mr. Bone, most of all, I appreciate the way the budget process went this year. It was emotionally controlled, it was organized, and it was very professional. Thank you. Mr. Jackson, I love your prayers. Continue inviting God, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit into this town. Now, this is my opinion, my approach, my thoughts, my research. I am only a townsperson. I don't know all the inside information, so please do not take this personal. It's just business. In reality, and to the best of my knowledge, Archer Lodge is approximately 9.1 square miles, or about 5,000 acres. I believe approximately 2,500 acres are consumed by home ownership, taxpayers with their own septic systems requiring close to 1 acre of land. This is not in-depth, detailed research. This is roughly, so don't take me, word for word. If this is true, then roughly 25 acres remain to be sold, meaning that at most, we will have 2,500 more higher paying and hopefully not deferred taxpayers, which will max out the town's revenue grab on real and personal property taxes, minus the sales and things like that. Our only hope is commercial development, which the citizens find highly undesirable, as they want to maintain an open farm-like feeling. So, taking this into consideration, we must ask, is this town dream even possible? Just take a look at the older towns and the financial problems they face, with infrastructure that's too expensive to maintain and currently failing, in turn recruiting developers to rebuild the infrastructure as they build new subdivisions. Is this idea pushing developers away from Archer's Lodge? The land on Castleberry Road has been up for grabs for quite a while. Furthermore, in my opinion, ETJ is a ridiculous idea, a waste of taxpayer money and human capital time, given that we don't even uphold our own property ordinances or codes. Have you looked at the unsightly falling down structures and junk cars in the yards of citizens as you're entering the town limits from Buffalo Road? Far from the pretty little village shops that are dancing around in some heads. My dad always said, you need to keep your eyes on your own yard before telling your neighbors what to do with his. Seriously, in the real world, what are we going to control? At what cost? While our budget continues to spiral out of control. I'm not here to rehash the financial concerns line by line and the exorbitant tax rate of the lack of services that will never be provided in any foreseeable far-off future. The services that we do receive, we have to buy back from the county. What's wrong with that picture? In addition, the unheard of entitled salary increases every year, including one of the highest 401k plans in the state, jokingly decreased from 8% last year to 6%, with a 2% increase in the mandated local government retirement. By the way, to the best of my recollection, this 2% mandated local government retirement 2% increase was never brought to the board's attention during the budget process. Lack of knowledge or lack of transparency from the Human Resources Department. I guess we will never know. My concern is the amount of money we spend each year on training, meetings, certifications, clubs, and related expenses. Human capital expenses to include yearly salary and benefit increases. Due to the countrywide inflation you all discussed numerous times during the budget process, I propose this year we give the taxpayers a break by holding all employee increases and reducing the 401k contribution to 2%, more in line with the size of the town, other towns, the non-government workforce taxpayers, and retirees. Humanoids in the next 5 years may be the answer to this ongoing human capital money pit. Maybe we should focus on humanoids rather than cybersecurity. Why don't we have a more friendly AI workforce? I also propose we stop funding Johnston County Little League and the community center altogether. Another ridiculous money pit the taxpayers are burdened with. How much are all these ball games really costing the taxpayers? I just heard him say that we get a 80% reimbursement, so that would leave us paying 20%. I would really like to see those numbers because I cannot find them. When you calculate the salaries, I appreciate, Kim, the layout you gave us of Johnston County Little League, but it was minus the extra people that we have to hire to maintain all of these ball fields, professional ball fields for children. And then bringing in the batting cages. What are we doing, eliminating fathers throwing balls now? Really? Let's think about this. Also, how much are these ball games really costing the taxpayers? Shouldn't the summary of funds paid on their behalf include the additional employee salaries and benefits? And then I go into, do we need batting cages to replace fathers throwing the ball? How much will it cost the taxpayers yearly to maintain these cages? Let's think this through. Everything we build will have to be maintained. For example, and I use this because my father raced boats, sailboats, and things like that, so I know the cost of it. Buying a boat is a great idea and relatively cheap until you get into the maintenance of the boat. That's called the hidden cost. Overall, I am still convinced that this town is an unnecessary drain on today's and tomorrow's taxpayers. It's my opinion this town should cease to exist before we dig this grave any deeper. Can we consider a town-wide survey of current taxpayers about the town's current state, realistic future, and expenses related to its growth? Let the people paying the bill decide whether to continue or stop. On a more positive note, maybe the land on Castleberry Road will be sold shortly to a commercial developer. And most of all, the deferred taxes will be paid, relieving some of the tax burden on homeowners at present. Maybe someone will donate land to the future police department. My dad always said, talk is cheap. So look to those who put their money where their mouth is. Thank you for your time. My main concern in this town is the double tax that is happening on the DMV registration. This has been an ongoing error. So if you want to be refunded, you have to email the tax office and hope that they will respond. And thank you for your help last year, Kim, in that matter. And I've handled it this year, but I have not got a response. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And Mr. Doug Long.
I appreciate what she said. I played Little League. I never hit a ball in a batting cage, and I smacked a few over the fence. That's a big waste of money. I remember when we were meeting over in the building across the street, talking about incorporation and how we wanted to avoid getting sucked up by Clayton or Wendell, and we wanted to avoid their high tax rates, and here we are. We got the high tax rates of Archer Lodge, and we really don't have a whole lot to show for it. Hasn't changed my life other than a bunch of money I got to put in this building and this government. And as I've already said, that I feel like I'm paying Palm Beach tax rate to live in Okeechobee. And thanks for the $50 back, by the way, after you slapped us with a huge tax bill. It was ridiculous. It's just, you know, I got more chickens in my neighborhood than I have kids. Maybe y'all ought to start taxing chickens and get some more revenue there. That's all I got.
Thank you. That's all that I had signed up. Okay, council, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Have a motion second. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay. Public hearing is now closed. Item number 7, discussion possible action items. Item number 7A, discussion of proposed fiscal year 2026, 2027 budget.
I don't, me personally, if we're ready to start talking, or I don't think we're quite where we need to be yet, so I don't, from my perspective, I don't think voting on one tonight's what we need to do.
No, there's no vote tonight. This is just purely discussion.
Well, okay, well, it's under an impossible action item, so I want to make sure that.
Just as Mr. Bone had mentioned, he was talking about a potential meeting on June the 15th. No, we purposely, several years ago, we said we're
Yep.
not going to put ourselves in a position to vote on the same night of the public hearing. So that's, rest assured, that's not going to happen.
So with that said, I think, I don't think June 15th would be, I think that'd be a little, I know we don't need to go much beyond that, but I think we need to have one more work session where we're discussing the particulars of the budget. That is my opinion on that. And then I know, I do not want to wait until July or June 29th or 30th or whatever. And when we've got to have something, and you would prefer to have a vote by June 19th?
To be respectful of the request from the county, they've asked for that information by Friday, June 19th. So it would be nice to have that by the 18th, if possible. Certainly welcome any comments that you have tonight, even though this is not a work session per se. This is a meeting of council, and if you've got feedback about the budget, staff would certainly welcome, any comments you have.
Okay.
I encourage you to take advantage of this time to provide feedback. Certainly, if council would like another work session, we'll be more than glad to help prepare for that. And we'll be better able to prepare for that if you are able to provide some feedback tonight.
Okay.
Also, we can't approve our tax rate until the county adopts theirs because of the fire district tax. Well, that's every year, you know. Sometimes they're delayed on their vote, so.
Well, they're wanting a reply from us by the 19th, which I would hope means that they're prepared before then.
But this come from the tax office from the 19th. Now, whether or not
I think they vote on the 16th.
the Board of Commissioners, I'm not sure when they'll be voting on their budget, but.
Anybody object to meet next week?
The 8th?
Let me make sure.
I would be available.
I'd be available.
On the 8th?
Yeah, I'm good with the 8th.
Clyde, would you be available on the 8th? That's next Monday.
If you're wondering. That's a Saturday, right? I mean, no, Monday.
It's it'd be next Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, a week from tonight.
I think so.
Okay? I've not heard anyone else say they could not be. Staff, are we open to be able to meet on the 8th?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think it would be good to have another work session, no doubt. But again, if anybody has any particular points, feel free to mention them or reach out to staff in between now and then so they can, be looking at that.
Is there any information that you would like for us to work on in the next week to have ready for you? Is there any information that we can provide you?
I'd like to know if we receive PAL funds. It's like street maintenance funds.
We do not.
We do not get PAL bill funds because we do not have.
We're not
town-owned
street
streets.
business.
I thought, don't we get something from the street lights?
We pay Duke Energy.
We do not have
But no.
town-owned roads. You have to have town-owned roads to get PAL bill funds.
Okay.
That was part of the.
The only street we have is the parking lot at the town park, and that's,
Would that not count for those funds?
it could, but those funds have string attached. And we have, the past councils have always avoided that because of that.
And it would be such a minute amount, because we're talking, based on a linear foot, I mean, we're talking,
It's a street that's already been built for the most part, so.
Yeah, but aren't the funds based on population?
it's based on the amount of roads.
Mileage of roads that you own and maintain, and you don't own and maintain.
Any other information that staff can provide in preparation for a work session in a week?
I'm going to send an email with proposals.
Okay. Thank you.
And I don't have anything in particular tonight. I'm really hoping sometime over this coming week, I'll send you, kind of the same thing. I'll send you some emails. And I apologize, I've been gone more than I've been here lately.
Okay, anyone else? All right, item 7B, engagement of May and Place Public Accountants to conduct the financial audit of the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2026.
Mayor and Council, this is a routine matter that is done every year. We are under contract, I believe, with this auditor, but we have to go year by year. And so we ask you at this time to approve the engagement of May and Place to conduct the audit for the upcoming, for the current fiscal year that ends June 30th, 2026, and authorize the appropriate town officials to execute the engagement agreement. If we were to put it out to bids, that would certainly delay the process, and we would more than likely be behind on submittal of the audit.
When was the last time it was put out to bid?
Was I don't know, it's been several years ago, the last time we put it out.
I think it's been going on 5 years.
Yeah, pretty close.
How long does the bid process take?
Months.
What worries me about the longer we go along, the audits are getting less and less. You put it out for bids where we've already been working with May in Place. If we put the audits out there or the bids out there, will they stay where they are? You know, or we're looking at, will they go up if everybody else is up? So I don't know whether.
I certainly don't have a crystal ball and
No,
can't say
no.
definitively,
Oh, no.
but often in that situations, the price does go up.
Because there's
And-
less and less auditors in
And
the
there
state
are
of
fewer
North
and fewer
Carolina.
auditors that are doing municipal work. It's, you know, a lot of investment in time and effort on their parts. A lot of accountants do, you know, private work, tax work, as well as corporate work. And so, you know, there, a lot of times it's not as cost-effective for them or opportunity for profit for them. So there's no guarantee what we get if we put out a bid, and it would delay the process. And so if council would like to put it out in a bid, I would suggest doing that next year and directing staff with sufficient time that, you know, probably we need to do that like November, if we're looking to November, December to prepare for the following year. But at this juncture, you know, my recommendation would be to approve it, you know, for the current fiscal year.
I'll make
That's, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve it, but we get it put out for bid next year.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries, unanimous vote. Item number 8, Town Attorney's Report.
I have nothing at this time, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Item number 9, Town Administrator's Report.
So thank you again, Mayor and Council. You have my written report in your agenda packet. Just wanted to highlight a few things and update you as well on other things as well. So the comprehensive land use plan, as you recall, council held a public hearing on May 4th, and council plans to revisit this at the July 13th meeting. I have some additional news on the Archer Lodge Town Park, the Pavilion 2 restrooms. The final walkthrough is scheduled for next week, so all the work we expect to have been done, or it has been done according to the contractor, so we just need to confirm that with a walkthrough next week. So once that's approved and received, then we can open up those restrooms for public use. The pickleball courts, excavation took place last week, and the soil passed compaction this morning, and gravel has been added today. Paving is planned for later this week. So then that will need to cure for 30 days before it can be painted. But that project is moving along very well, so we're excited about that. The Parks and Recreation Maintenance Building area, the pre-construction meeting was held last week. Felt very positive about that and feel that that's going to move along quickly. We're excited about that as well. Fence construction, the fence along Steel Lane was installed last week. And the contractor is waiting on black chain link fence to come in for other areas of the park. Netting for the multipurpose field is on order, and so we're waiting for that to come in. The lighting for the multipurpose fields has been completed. The disc golf course, the baskets have been received through our grant, and funding consideration for additional elements is in the proposed budget, the recommended budget. Gravel for the Parks and Recreation Maintenance building area is included in the recommended budget, as are the batting cages and pitching bullpens. Personnel policy update is, the draft is under review. Review of speed limits with NCDOT. We are working with DOT staff, and we're hoping to have them back at the June 15th work session. So they're working on their recommendations as well. And then also at the June 15th meeting, we anticipate having the project engineer for the Cover Bridge Road project to present to council about that project as well. So looking forward to both of those individuals being there as well. Some of the meetings I attended, I made reference to the Archer Lodge Community Center Board meeting on May 14th. There's some notes in the agenda packet that I refer you to. I also attended the Triangle East Chamber of Commerce Legacy Awards on May 19th to represent the town. And just want to congratulate Miss Miss Becky Flowers, who was honored as a Lifetime Achievement Award winner that night. So just wanted to mention that. And that concludes my report. Any questions? Thank you all.
Thank you. Item number 10 is nothing to report at this time. Item number 11, Town Clerk's Report. Mr. Ben?
Good afternoon, Council. Just have one item for you tonight. Just want to let you all know that I've been accepted into the International Institute of Municipal Clerks 2026-2027 Clerk Certification Institute. That was a mouthful. The Clerk Certification Institute in North Carolina is administered by the UNC School of Government. Completion of a Clerk Certification Institute fulfills the educational requirements for designation as a certified municipal clerk, as well as North Carolina certified municipal clerk. These are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a series of 4 weeks over the course of almost a year, where you go to the School of Government for Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And it's, I think Kim's been through it before. It's really informative. I've learned a lot in my position, but there's so much in the statutes and technical things that's what the Certification Institute covers. So just want to thank you all for prioritizing education for staff, and looking forward to doing that this upcoming year so I can work towards becoming a certified clerk. Any questions? Thank you.
Congratulations.
Absolutely. Item 12, Human Resource Officers Report. Ms. Cynthia?
Good afternoon to everyone present. Okay, you have in your packet that we were hopeful to have made an offer to the athletic supervisor. The offer letter that's contingent to passing the background investigation is prepared, and we're waiting for our Parks and Recreation Director's return on Wednesday. And as soon as he gives the go-ahead on that, then the call will be made and the background will begin. The athletic aide position, originally we had one position open, and due to the loss of another aide, we now have 2 positions. Unfortunately, the original applicant from the very first position declined. They chose another job when I contacted him for that one. So that was very unfortunate. So we're moving on to the next candidate, in addition to filling the most recent opening that we have. But fortunately, we're hopeful that we can fill that position from the interviews that we had just previously done. The personnel policy amendment update. So that is a very tedious process because it involves going through absolutely every line of the existing policy so that we don't immediately start making amendments as soon as the new policy is adopted. So we are working with the MAPS group to make sure that when you receive that material, it is absolutely the most updated to the minute package as possible. We, on Wednesday, May 20th, we had our flexible portable open enrollment, and that is the policies of which staff pays for on their own. It's portable because in the event someone should leave employment, these are policies of which they can carry with them. We most know it as cancer and critical care and things like that. I have participated in several now state employee health plan updates. That open enrollment will take place in it will begin in October of this year. And it will be effective the first of the year. But prior to that, the state is making numerous updates, and a lot of them are to protect the private and confidential information for the employees. So in the past, staff or management would have access to certain information. That is changing. So it will have absolutely no association with management. The employees will do everything on their own. They now will assign their own user ID, their own passwords, and there's information of which we will have absolutely no access to. And this is because of, cybersecurity and things like that. That is my update at this time. Does anyone have any questions or any concerns?
Thank you. Item 13, Town Planners Report. Mr. Jason?
Good evening, Mayor and Council, members of the
public. A few items tonight, comprehensive land use plan update. David had already covered this, but we'll be planning to bring that up later this month at a council meeting. The DOT Covered Bridge Road widening project. The DOT has awarded a contract finally for that project. Improvements will extend from west of Helena Lane to east of Buffalo Road. Project will widen existing 2-lane roadway to 3 lanes, including an open center turn lane, converting the corridor to a 3-lane cross-section with dedicated left turn space. Will help reduce rear end crashes, lessen congestion at busy intersections, and improve overall traffic flow for local and regional drivers. 2 highlights is that the project includes 2 new traffic signals, one at South Murphy Road and Archer Lodge Road, which will be realigned to form a new perpendicular intersection at Covered Bridge Road. And additionally, a new traffic signal will go in at Castleberry Road and Covered Bridge Road, which will help with that congestion as well. Construction is supposed to begin later this year, hopefully in the fall, and expected to be completed by the summer of the next, or 2 years from now. We are also continuing to review the speed limits with DOT. They had to change offices for the last 6 weeks or so because of the issue with asbestos or something, so the project is a little bit behind on their end as far as getting the information for us, but as David had mentioned, they anticipate having that for us shortly, so we can look at that again soon. And the May 19th planning board meeting was canceled for having no items to review. This isn't on here, but last Friday I attended a meeting at the Central Pines Regional Office in Durham for the floodplain resiliency blueprint. We are part of the eastern sector, covering from Raleigh all the way to, forgive me, I don't know all the counties on the coast, but to the coast. So this is just part of a project that's been ongoing that looks at different ways and best practices to get funding to help with flood resiliency issues with the Neuse River in Johnson County, and Johnson County facing some of the largest growth in the state. That's kind of a big focus. So hoping to see that as it continues to grow and be adopted. And then there's animal control stats for April for you to receive this information, and that is all I have.
Thank you. All right, Parks and Recreation Director's Report, Mr. David.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Our Recreation Director, Chris Allen, is not available tonight, so just wanted to mention a few things on his behalf. As you're aware, the Archer Lodge, our first archery class went really well. It filled up very quickly. We had 7 participants signed up, and it was a very successful event. It was just kind of a one-day crash course in the basics of archery, and we certainly wanted to provide opportunity to discuss safety, but get them active in the sport as well. So that was very successful. We're hoping to have another class in the near future. We mentioned the Popsicles in the Park event. It's a breeding program that the town has had prior to summers. We're looking to have it this summer as well. The first Popsicles in the Park will be next week, June 9th at 10 o'clock. So certainly ask you to help promote the event, and certainly encourage you to come out and bring your favorite book and have a popsicle with the children that are there. We do have registration for softball clinics. They're ongoing, so we have 3 sessions, three-day sessions planned for June, July, and the 1st of August. Registration is going really well. As of last week, I think we just had a couple of spots in the first session. Haven't checked today, it may be full. but very close if not full. And the other registration is proceeding along well, so if you know folks that would like to send their children, I believe it's 9 through 13, I certainly encourage you to ask them to visit the town website and register there. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Item 15, Mayor's Report. I'd like to thank all the attendees tonight for the public hearing. Also wanted to pass along my condolences to Councilmember Bruton for the passing of her mother. Also, congratulations to Councilmember Davis to his growing family and the twins. And congratulations. Item number 16, Councilmember remarks. Item 16A, Councilmember Jackson.
I don't have a whole lot, I don't think. I mentioned in the prayer that summertime, kids are active out and doing things and all. Kids will be traveling, and I think where that kind of hits with me, tomorrow morning, I'm leaving to go to the beach to spend time with our youth at a youth camp, and then a couple of weeks after that, I'm heading with them to the other end of the state to work on making some substandard houses warmer, safer, drier, that kind of thing. And just when you have, well, it's summertime, kids are active and not always the smartest. And so there's opportunities for not being safe, but just when you're out and about and you see kids, and pay extra attention to them because they're not always aware of where they are. And that's it. That's all I got.
Okay, Councilmember Davis.
I'd just like to thank staff for the card. Appreciate that. That's all I got.
Councilmember Eccles.
Thank you all, the staff and all of the residents that came out today. Thank you for the information, weatherization information, Ms. Abrilla. Thankful for all the residents coming out, and I'm more than a pretty smile, I'd just like to add. And just thank you all. Congratulations again to Davis, and I've reached out to Bruton and just continue to lift her family in prayer. Her mother had beautiful 93 years of life.
Mayor Pro Tem Castleberry.
I did meet with the Economic Development Board Wednesday before last, and we had a good meeting, had 15 members there, and we are going to be having them here for lunch, the Economic Development Board, on July 18th.
I think that's correct.
It's always on a Wednesday. But we're going to furnish the place to have them. So all the people in Johnston County that make up that Economic Development Board, they've been asked to be here. Of course, as kids get out of school, it always, the number of people gets shallower and shallower. So, but anyway, I appreciate everybody being here tonight. And Teresa, really thinking about her and her family over the last few days with her mother, and I've been watching the little twins on Facebook. So that's exciting. So, but I can tell you, we got our little grandchild turned 1, and he is a blessing to me. So, but tomorrow, I've been getting my new sleep apnea machine that I've been waiting for 5 weeks. So I'm hoping my life's gonna turn around when I get that thing right. So, but anyway, it all gets all right.
And there's a hockey game tomorrow.
Oh, is it? Yeah, you may see me in the hockey shirt. Rhonda and I both work there for it, and I can tell you, I've never been a real hockey fan except last 2 or 3 years. I've got more interested in it, but getting to play for the Stanley Cup, it's exciting around Raleigh, I'm gonna tell you right now. And all the money, I know where the money's going. To players or somewhere.
All right, at this time, I'm going to ask council if he would carry us into closed session for purpose of personnel.
Mr. Mayor, pursuant to North Carolina General Statutes 143-318.11.6, you are authorized to go into closed session. We'll need a motion and a vote.
Okay.
Motion.
All right, do we have a motion to go into closed session?
Motion.
We have the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay. All right. All right, we will be going into closed session momentarily.
And Mayor, did you want to announce where we're going to have the closed session?
We can. I did this a little irregular, but for the benefit of the public with us, I don't think we anticipate any action, but we can go ahead if council would like and go back to the conference room and for the closed session, and we will come back here and go out of closed session and adjourn. So if you want to take just a few minutes and